Look at that fitment. I need some spacers for this car really badly. I mean, the rear isn't that bad, but I need spacers too to bring this out, at least like out here. I'm telling you guys, I cannot wait for spring and summer to roll by. I'm so sick and tired of winter. It's ridiculous. We are going ahead and doing the top 5 things I dislike about the Speed 3. I did one for the Del Sol, I did one for my previous regular NA3, so I figured why not go ahead and do it for the Speed 3. Now I've owned this car for some time now, so I feel like I've driven it enough and owned it a little bit enough to just know about a few things that I like and dislike about this car. This definitely will be one of my shortest videos. I won't make this too long. I'll split this up into 2. For this video, I'm gonna do the things that I hate about this car, and then I'll make a separate video about the things that I love about this car. The best like air freshener is for inside your car, and of course that black ice. You know, had to call me some black ice because it's just the best. Gosh damn, I love this car. So before I go ahead and get into the stuff that I hate about the Speed 3, just to let you guys know, I love this car way more than I hate it. I say this all the time with all the videos of this that I do, but I really do love this car a whole bunch more. But of course, everybody has little quirks or little problems with every car, so no car is perfect. But anyway, just wanted to clear that up, so now we can go ahead and get into the video. So for the first thing that I hate about the Mazda Speed 3 is the turbo, believe it or not, and I'll explain why. Don't worry, I love the turbo, but I also hate it. Let me explain why. Now the Speed 3 comes with a K04 turbo on the car, and let me tell you something. As good as the turbo feels and going into boost and all of that, the K04 stock turbos that come on this car, absolute trash. And I mean real trash. Like, these turbos go out way too easily, way too fast. It's probably one of the first things I'll probably go away on this car or blow. It's always that or the turbo seals. I'll put them together, turbo and turbo seals, because it's pretty much a part of the turbo. So yes, the seals and the turbo itself just always blow. Like, if you have a Speed 3, you are definitely going to have to replace the turbo at some point in life. Now the next thing that I hate about the Speed 3 is, of course, is that it's a first gen Mazda. For those who don't know, these first gen Mazdas rust like crazy. If you are not on top of cleaning this thing and keeping it in tip-top shape, it will rust out on you. And it is super easy for that to happen too. Thankfully on this car, it is pretty clean. The only rust spot on this car is, of course, on the hood, which is to be expected when you're driving and all the rock chips and stuff. But yeah guys, rust is definitely the next thing about this car. So for the next thing, I'm gonna pop the hood. Now if you guys watch my coolant leak video, you guys would know exactly what is next, and that is, of course, that coolant tank. These stuff are notorious, and I mean notorious, for going out and cracking and just leaking out a bunch of coolant. I don't know if it's all Mazdas in general, but I know for a fact, for me, every single Mazda that I've had to replace this tank. It is absolutely ridiculous. It's plastic, it just cracks. Best thing to do is just upgrade to like a Cork Sport one, and you won't have no problems. So for the fourth thing about this car that I absolutely hate is the VVT timing chain actuator, whatever you want to call it. These are things on speeds that you have to, I repeat, you have to make sure get done. Now the timing chain is right here. Usually when you take off this oil cap, you can see it right here. But if you start the car and there's a huge rattle when you start it, your timing chain is going out, and you want to make sure that's changed, because if you do not change that, you will get the notorious and famous zoom zoom boom. the last thing you want is to pay for a whole new engine, because these things are very rare. So you're gonna be shelling out like 3K, maybe even 4K, maybe even 5K just to get this engine replaced and get a new one. So that is definitely the fourth thing that I hate about the Speed 3. But once you do it, obviously it's not an issue. Now we move on to the final thing about the Speed 3. Now what is the final thing that I hate so much about this Speed 3? Now the fifth thing that I hate about the Speed 3 is, of course, the building platform and modifying platform. Now this car, you have to do it in steps. With this car, you have to do the steps first that all speed guys should know. Now for anybody who's new to speeds or is a speed enthusiast, you know that you have to do certain things to make sure that when you mod this car, it keeps reliable and it does not blow on you. Make sure to get a high pressure fuel pump. I cannot express that enough. If you're gonna do any mods to this car, be sure to have that first. Because if you do your mods, you do your intake, you do your exhaust, you're gonna blow your engine, all right? Now there's a whole misconception. Some people say you can, some people you can't. But what I say is just go ahead and do the high pressure fuel pump first, because when it has, of course, more fuel, will be able to handle more power. It is easy, and I mean very easy, to grenade this engine if you do not modify this thing correctly. The Speed 3 is just one of those cars where you have to do it right the first time. Do not do it right the first time, you will regret it. All right guys, so that is pretty much everything that I dislike about the car. Now keep in mind, like I said at the beginning, I absolutely love this car, and I encourage anybody that is looking for a Speed 3 or just something boosted and just a great all-around vehicle, Speed 3 is absolutely perfect for that. And I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up the video in here because out there is just extremely windy. Check this out. Look, this is how cold it is out there. Look at my fingertips. They are red. Look, you see that? It is freezing out there. Like, I'm not even playing. I swear, I really just want to move somewhere that's just warm and sunny all year round. I can't do the cold. It's not for me. But anyway, guys, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out. Stay humble. Stay blessed. Peace.